Well, a big week for Aidan O'Brien, obviously the Epsom Oaks Derby and Coronation taking place later on the weekend. He joins me now to have a word about his runners. Aidan, firstly we'll start off with the Oaks. It looks like you're going to run 3 in the Oaks.
Yeah, hopefully, Kevin, Together Forever, Diamonds and Rubies qualify. Remember, our Wedding Vow is in also, but probably the first 3 are the most likely ones.
And of course, we'll start off with Diamonds and Rubies, Aidan. She was very, very impressive in her trial at Chester.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Won nicely. Obviously, it was a trial for Epsom, and you couldn't be happier with her, really, Kevin.
She's a progressive filly and open to a lot more improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. She won her maiden nicely first time this year, and then ran a good race in Navan in a group race, and obviously came back then to listed race in Chester. So you'd have to be very happy with her.
She was a little bit unlucky that day in the Salsable Stakes, not to finish a bit closer, and her race has worked out really well. Obviously, Placecock was second.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she likes to be ridden patiently, but like you said, she came home very well at Navan.
And she'll have no trouble with the trip as well.
I'm not sure. Obviously, she hasn't ran. It was nearly a mile and a half, but it was Chester. So obviously it's a different mile and a half in Epsom, so it'll be interesting. But she looked like in Chester she was going to get it.
OK, that's Diamonds and Rubies, Together Forever. I was very pleased with her seasonal reappearance when she did give the penalty away to John Goslin's filly in the Musadora at York.
Yeah, you'd be very happy, Kevin. Obviously, like I said, I think she was even getting £3 or £5 to the winner. So ran a lovely race and a little bit ring rusty, maybe just before the 2, and then stayed on very well. So she looks like a filly you would imagine would definitely probably get a mile and a half well.
Yeah, and on that evidence over a mile and a quarter, she looked like she got it well, and she should get a mile and a half.
Yeah, you'd imagine. So obviously she's a Galileo filly, and think of a theatrical mare, so you think and hope that she would.
And of the other 2, Wedding Vow is still a maiden, high rated maiden, some good runs in defeat. She was second behind Zanda of Dermot Wells early on the season. And Qualify, she's running both Irish and English 1,000 guineas.
Yeah, absolutely. Qualified ran a very good race in the Irish guineas last time. She should improve and think with a step up in trip. She's in good form, and then Wedding Vow had a nice run in Lingfield, came home very well in the Oaks trial there.
And ground-wise, Aidan, there is rain forecast in Epsom for the early part of the week, but they're giving it a fantastic end to the week, so the ground should be perfect. Yeah,
hopefully, Kevin. Hopefully it stays good. Like I think good or better would suit them all. Really, Rubies and Diamonds has form in softish ground, but in an ideal world you'd like it good. I think most of them would like it to stay good or better.
Aidan, moving on to the Derby, 3 runners in it. Giovanni Canaletto, were you pleased with his reappearance in the Gallinools?
Yeah, very happy. Obviously he was coming home very well. Obviously it's only 2 weeks ago we had planned that he'd run in Chester, but we didn't get him there in time. But he seems to be in good form. Obviously it's a step a little bit quicker than maybe ideal, but we're very happy with him since he's come out of Curra very well.
And of course David Watchman's filly who beat you that day, she had the benefit of a couple of runs under her belt, while your horse was his first run of the season, open to obviously more improvement.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. She's a very progressive filly, but we were very happy. Our horse finished very well, and maybe just the line just came a shade too early, but ran a real good race.
And of the others, Hans Holbein, he's improved at each run this season.
Yeah, he's a horse that looks like gets a mile and a half well. Wouldn't mind the knees in the ground. Like I said, probably will end up getting further than a mile and a half, so hopefully.
And Kilimanjaro, the last of your 3 runners in it, he was a good winner of the Lingfield Derby trial.
Yeah, he won his maiden in Dundalk early on, and then went to Lingfield, won nicely, got to a mile and a half well. He's a big cruiser, and came home very well that day. So listen, it's setting up nice for him as well.
And ideal circumstance, they're all well bred, good action horses, good ground is obviously what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I think the better the ground, I think that'll suit everybody, and it'll give it a nice proper fair race. You know, if it's good ground, I think it'll suit everybody really.
And a quick word about Tapestry. Obviously she was very, very good last year, and she runs in the Coronation.
Yeah, she's in good form as well, and we would have probably liked to get her out, but we didn't have the ground in any of the races that would have suited her. So, but she's in good form. It's her first run of the season, but she's a filly, gets fit quick. She gets a mile and a half well, we think, like she showed in York in the fillies race last year. So she's in good form, Kevin.
And Aidan, a quick word about the other 2 horses. Obviously it broke today, the Glen Eagles and Found. They're not going to Epsom, they're going straight to Royal Ascot. How are the both of them after their runs?
No, yeah, good form, Kevin. It looks a nice progression for them. There's a nice space, nice time between the races. Obviously, Glen Eagles will stay at a mile, and Found will stay at a mile for the moment. So, obviously, a Found can step up any time. Obviously, we always thought that Glen Eagles was kind of a specialist miler, but he came out of Curra very well, and hopefully he'll have a nice bit of time between the Curragh and Ascot. It should work lovely for him.
And he's very, very good, isn't he, Glen Eagles? I know it's a hard thing to ask, different eras and that, different years, but how does he compare to some of your other top milers that have won guineas?
Yeah, no, he's very good, Kevin. This horse is very good. He probably, as his races go, he'll probably get lazier. That's the way he was last year, and he'll probably win by less and less each run, I would imagine. That's the way he is. This Giant's Causeway was like that, and like at the end, Giant's Causeway was only winning by heads and necks, you know. So this horse is a bit like Giant's Causeway. He's probably very like Giant's Causeway, but he's quicker through a race, you know. So no, listen, we always thought he was the real thing, Kevin.
From a trainer's perspective, it's great to have them with such good temperaments, isn't it, that they'll just do enough for you?
Yeah, he is, absolutely. Listen, Joseph rides him every day now, and he's getting more relaxed, which is great. Listen, he loves his work, he enjoys his canters every day, and no, he's in a really good place, we think, at the moment.
Well, Aidan, thanks for having a word with us, and we wish you best in Epsom this week.
Thanks, Kevin.